So we'll begin with the short prayer of refuge in generating bodhicitta. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, the teaching, and the spiritual community. By the merit of listening to the teachings, may I achieve Buddhahood in order to help all living beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, the teaching, and the spiritual community. By the merit of hearing the teachings, may I achieve Buddhahood in order to help all living beings. I go for refuge until enlightenment to the Buddha, the teaching, and the spiritual community. By the merit of hearing the teachings, may I achieve Buddhahood in order to help all living beings.
Geshe shimbu shewa le chunju le ra. Tenjun dine nye bar shindu kaas. Kibi tunu drup toba juba la. Ketin de la pemba matu na chindi andan juba ka la yu. Samti shi.
The great Shantideva said in his guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life, this leisure and endowment, which are so difficult to obtain, have been acquired, and they bring about the welfare of the world. If one fails to take this favorable opportunity into consideration, how could this occasion occur again?
Niswa.
Teresa.
O diri ta tina ne. Dewa Geshe ra. Ta jorba chu she ti she mo che ra. Tin jorba chu na ya ne rangjo dan shenjo se. So de sanje jiden kam du chamba sta. Ngo chembe kabla ta ngazu ke o mara. Sanje jane ane ti kyuba de manya ba she ta de te de ora. O ti de ko dewa ge tan jorba chu sawa de shin tu ko bore se. Ane ti tenjo ge melu tu chi ge gyude. Shindu ne tup kawa sonjanis. Nyebar kawa re songdo tenjo ne nyebar shindu gas. Tan di ten liane kibi tan tup ge na tup tup ge re se. O kibi tan tup tup aja. Kibi tan tup ya karo se na sende sam mai ba. Jiten shima ene ngandu lami ko ba. Tum na tup tup. Ko le tan do tarwa tum na tup tup. Ran ko le tarwa samai ba simje tamje. Ko le tarwa chen nebe. Ani kyan ku se yenden kunden je sanje je kombatu na tum ne ku de so ndo. Kibi tan tup to ba je ba la so. O ta te da bu de ke de le pamba ma tu na de ta bu ku kap sang bo nye ban de la ya kanya tu ma tu na. Ani chi so ke wa shima nam so nye so la so ba ten de ke ba ina. A ten de se to e ku kap long ma ro. O tin du tan da ten jo ge me lu to be ten sa bo to ba de dan 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 ba che ku de so gu do. Ya.
To explain the lines here, then here leisure is we don't have to comment on, but endowment, there's usually 5 to do that are associated with oneself and 5 that are associated with others. Then the first one then is the one to do with self is a Buddha visiting in this world. Here, visiting in this world doesn't mean that he has to be here right now. It means that he has come to the world, and then there's still a tradition that has been handed down through the generations that are the effect of his coming to this world. So then, difficult to obtain is in fact, that's because of the causes that we have to put in to obtain such a life, then it's very difficult. And now we have it, and then we can bring about the welfare of the world. That means doing some kind of purpose in this lifetime, but not just in this lifetime, but in future lives as well, where we can obtain a our aims really is another way of translating this. And one aim is to have a fortunate human, fortunate rebirth as a human or a deity in our future lives. And then beyond that, to obtain complete liberation from cyclic existence. That's also possible. And that's with this life. And then the greatest purpose then is that we can become a Buddha, a person who's completely eliminated all faults and attained all good qualities. And this we can bring about with this lifetime. So if we don't take advantage of this opportunity that we have, then how is it that we're going to be able to obtain it again in the future?
This one. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, the tiny baka is that so money. Mikiwa chupa, Kewa chupati, Sendo Kalakabura. It only is Chimbatangura, Longjug Mapoichi, me Longjug Longjet, Chimbataware. It is a Mayba, Yido Suk, Zebala Sobatin, the theatre, Savakongura, Chimba to the Savacha, Chitim Mikiwa chupa with Chitim Songore, Chimbatongore, Savakongore. It is a Mayba, Kewala Chundisangura. No, any something that thing Shirab so but is all long looking there, let us come Tandanga Shirab Tanchi, some town to Giske or they did change so part of the Chimba torches and Gudwa. Sitting number of Sisons, make it so. Change so part of the Chimba torches. And Molam Chamami by some just and Molam job. Generation the Kawasagura, the troops into Combura.
So this life that has leisure, meaning freedom from the 8 kinds of non-leisure, and then endowment, which means that has the 10 different aspects of endowment, then is so difficult to obtain. When we say difficult to obtain, it's from the viewpoint of the Course, then you have to have created a pure ethical discipline, and then this is assisted by the other by the 6 perfections: ethical discipline, generosity, ethical discipline, patience. All of these are difficult to what do you say? Difficult to practice. Then making effort or and joyous perseverance at cultivating virtue. Then there's meditative stabilization and wisdom. So if we have some experience of these, then it's said that assists our practice of pure ethical discipline. And then finally, we have to then make pure wish, what do you say, aspirational prayers, pure wishes. And so because those 3 are hard to, those 3 causes are hard to assemble, then it's said that it's difficult to obtain this life of leisure and endowment.
No, it is. Sanjay Jikendo Chambatsora, Sanjay Chanda Tamjut, Tembaneta Sigua, Jorbatsan de Shanjong and the Sandisa. Sanjay Jikendo Chambakora, the Shenduna Yakara, and it did chase on Balasoba, Telangado, Sanjay Che, Nyamliche, Tobalasoba, to pay Shenduna Yakara, Tandangazula, research do some. Camari some service Tangdoa. Oh, John, pay my Bosanam Sane, Totavajira, Sanjay Songdoa, Sanjay Jikendo, Kebachuanam Swas. Nes Sanjay Juan Quambara. Nes also Tabalas of Sanjay Song to the trade to Pecombora, Kevachivanam Susutaba Tubano, Sundan Zambaniakadis, Truban Shindu Nebarkasta, and the Kugabte, Nimisida, Pekombura, and Angaras, and the Tiki Samada, Kokemare Samjaris, Tonske Mara, Umadon Unetane Sanjin, then come to Chamba, Tiki Chut and Batilang as a turny, Bagzasha, or some Ristan, or the Pay, Niakawa, Missibanis. Oh, this one, the Nazuka. Tende samudani sinde nye kawade tenju milu de peso achimbo yimba atari chik majina ani ta mandiri samjari samlu kogura ngazu tende ke kogmedo shohora jilko ta asparu chuna sanje chere tse tende simato shenda tende sori mato stike kechum sigmedo so tipe niba kawade sete tenju de niba shindu ka ja kombure so tende samudani niba kawe chwa chungdo The son of Madonna, and she did as it was. I did it.
So, among those 10 aspects of endowment, there's the Buddha visiting this world and then giving the teachings, and then there are followers who put that teaching into practice. This is something that we just take for granted because it's always been here. We don't think of it as like difficult to obtain. And but if you actually thought about how it's difficult to obtain, then we would make a lot of effort to take advantage of it, but that's not the way we approach it. We sort of think, well, when you take it for granted, then you think about how, well, maybe I'll do this other thing rather than putting, working at my practice of the Buddhist teachings. There's always other stuff that gets in the way, when actually. Because it's so, if we knew that it was so precious and so difficult to obtain, that it's almost, what do you say? Almost, how do you say it? It's almost seems impossible to obtain it. We don't think about how we've gone through many lifetimes without meeting with the Buddha's teaching. We just sort of think, well, it's always been here. So then if we had that feeling of that it's so important, then we would be sure to make good use of our opportunity.
That's right. Oh yeah. Oh, this some tanchera. Social melody. Pe nyaka wa shibuchi nyibare samje. So le kawa komgura. So something do atan diga shenda kaya majuna sanje tembata je simje tamje se adu chikechi chung. Dakshen tamje nyamba se adu. Dongbani se adu. Sanje yikoba simje tamje ta truptunge sanje yikoba se adu. Tuzu tam koran toya kabura. 다른 때부터 야니치 터서와 뒤 박사 샤야를 중어와 어디 두자베 베케바 상부예삼 샹다카나 만나 사제 템바든지 텔레토바체 삼바체 야네한도 꿈지치 꿈바체 고급중어데 베케바 상부예삼 수수수 가와서거도 가와선 다데데베 땡상부터바체 돌아다니는 데 말에삼 상제 송반에 시진력하는 냠술랑을 차삼 뒤에 라지부터다 많이 심지어 탐지했던도 don't give some or did on the chain and some go set them sangura.
In fact, we should just always be, what do you say, joyful or take delight in the fact that we, or be joyful about that we have this human life, because this human life is, this special kind of human life is so difficult to obtain. So then we have this opportunity to practice developing bodhicitta and meditating on emptiness and doing we say the exchange of self and other, all these kinds of practices, we have a chance to do these and really establish a strong predisposition to practice it again in the future. So when we then listen to these teachings, we should have this kind of a motivation. Oh, I have this chance now, and I will take full advantage of this and work to study and reflect and meditate on these precious teachings.
This one.
This one.
Oh, yeah,
so we're on verse 37. Diana, careful with that one. It's sort of just stretched to its limit right there. So we're on Sokdun. We're on 37, verse 37. If you have this book, I don't know, Is Enlightenment Possible?
Yeah.
Then it's on page 228.
Oh, yeah. Don't do it. So she's a song. Some did it. Oh, Tatanda as a cavalier de Dosen and they lived the Doaka soda. Take your Nachish Ledwa. Young Bimba.
So the topic here is setting forth proof of the existence of past and future lives.
I don't know Coca soda. Oh, Tobasanje Chumdende, Chemeki Burwa, Landurgine Malubat, Chemeki Bose. Oh, Tindesi Tobia, Sanje Chumdende, Tobares, Thabkhe and Tobaresena, and a dollar pension bars. Simjet Tamjalia, needing me with Tubji Butambu, some Tindesi Corresera. Oh, that's it. Tamajon dollar pension, nobody. Tamajon dollar pension, then it don't bass. Simjet Tamjak to Bachave, some Lucy Corne, and a cargo resena, Chorwa, Tombatami to Bashira. Oh, nah, sometimes some Ludishuk Chetane, Simjak to me, some jealous Sawachi, Kangatine, good do something. And then sometimes some Lunam you caught the egg, not in this some Lutambanation, not your Mare, something. Dame Tombani, Kichora Sambutua. And then sometimes around at the manor and Rangatondalia case and Butchi at Yungumara. And then Mikiwa Shalet Sawas added, Mikiwa to Kanganor, do Yardo. Tombatami to Bishira Sigora. Chorade. That Amido Bishira used to be made up about Tunga or the Mijilam, the Tresigilam singing Guda. I am Mabushan the city. Mijilam should be made up about Tunga or the social simple to Mingudwa. Social assembly could do the stage. Some Mingura and the trouble of the members simply are meaning. But what is young when there is somebody Chagura? And the Chilean Chohat Sangura. So Rangi Miji Sigua, Medabada Tunga or the Tozura. In the Tresigilam de time ever Tombani Sandra, Tresigilam de Congura. Don't a pension but Thomas. Tell a ten and a devil. They say Top Sierra. Around the Tarchimba, Pangbateshi, the Tobateshi. Shangi to Tarchimba, Shangi to Exedo, Shanliane, Suguna, but then it should enter the Kansas Riviera. Oh, did Pangbateshi, the Tobateshi, Nis were around there. Shandu, Sugura. Oh, Tindin Jebu, Susuki Kuniche. Somebody Chora, Tindel Ten Tobores, Tisha, Lunibak. Titan Tambo, Nijichambushé, Nijichambushé, Tende ni chembo de kyawa chiglo komba yongu mare kyawa nga chini yo mare sendel tende samlu shuk chembo kawa khoto gure ni ji kyawa to ma kombe to yo mare kyawa nga chikora yo mare sigdo tele tene ni kyawa nga chitu sig bo yongu do o tichilam na mangta so.
So then how did we arrive at this particular point? Just to sort of summarize the beginning, there's a what do we call it? The opening verses of Dignaga's sutra on valid cognition, and where he praises the Buddha as being a authoritative being, I think is the translation we came up with, and or settled on, and then it's because the authoritative being here, or authoritative person, means somebody who knows everything that has to be what it is, knows everything that has to be adopted and everything that has to be cast aside. So then from such a being has compassion and is only thinking of the and it mentions in the opening verse benefiting others, or benefiting all living beings, and so how is it that the Buddha benefits others? It's from really the Buddha is seeing that beings are tied up with this ignorance about the selflessness, okay, that they don't know impermanence, selflessness. You can include that in it, as well as not knowing the nature of suffering. So then it's out of compassion then for all living beings that the Buddha gives the teachings that allow us to understand these basic truths. So then when we're right now in the text, there's this question about the compassion. Really, how can somebody have develop such limitless compassion for all living beings? So here, that's the only way to understand that is through being able to accept former and future lives. So that's where we're at in the text now, the proof of former and future lives.
Bisa. No yo tan. Tatanda ko kyoanga chiti yabu chisamu makona. Tene munde chiti yang kabore. Sendi jangjang tanda do angara zo hakodera. Kyoanga chiti yabale Yeshe bata. Rigbestu ne ngone ngishi tembuchi manina. Sendi to chichendi jangjang samu mato korto umendo. Dade kyo chima yobade. 야뭐 좀 tummatuna sendi bajanja madu chimage chu kane laba chamgina yabuchi tutu yo mara soso kyo chimade yo ma kona ane soso titu nyoya de disamain ba chimache yin ringa chi samlo kora chima penji yin ringa ra didi tondun chi resora tele tede chimade take yo mara o de kyo chimage dawa tuge da tungi 세야데 딜레케 셔와레 삼제 삼로 코르네 아니 기부 총회 쉬어서 쉬시는 거 쪽으로 저 심한 상황하고는 내성 때에다 하다 메고 와도 상을 거 말아 뒤에도 그 빼게 첨부도 되어라 너무 겨우나시게 뒤야 뭐지 내신내서나 아니 계사 도와를 주셔야 되는 가게 맞이 레기 상하던 도와인데 계속서 레 내가 봐야다 상부트에 되는 거라 뭐 대장에 뒤에 탐에도 별게 해서 탐해봐 잠바다니 지자와로 소바배 탐에도 별거 그래서도 이런 뭐 쉬우지 내고요 내요랑 알아서 이런 뭐 내고요 저에게 요 말와 야루야 신산지 고반 톱셔야 돼 토야 삼로 코르토그라 첸디 장장이나 근데 이런 뭐지 삼로 코르토 말 가는 지 세아서 말도 소소 샘띵데 원형 같은 데 쓰고 삼삼 코르토 말아 뭐 겨울에 탐에버데 삼로 코르소나 나 삼삼데 첸디 많이 봐 내가 원래 근데 세토 그래서 타르투도 봐도 근데 산지 고만 토가 지금서 집에 파르도 좀 봐, 수배 파르도 좀 봐, 준비 파르도 좀 봐, 지금 삼삼 삼도 코르토라 아니 다르바다 탐제 좀 봐세 기부총은 중에 전부 간게 삼도 코르토라 뒤면은 색삼을 마도 닌 타관에 셈 땡네 네반년에 숙청부 영화도 영토 말아 그래서 내가 같이 이거부터 빼 계셔보래 치마도 요나니 나마도 요라 나마 요나니 소소 파한타베 파마다 년대다지 생디나 생가마티 나마스도 아니 소소 뒤도다 팬당게 되 이런 무시도 와 내가 팬당게 요데 생디 짱짱 말은 내가 간데 에 치마도 가르가르시도 미다마스나 투주셔도 와 아니 내가 마스나 소소 가르tum나 투에 너바 요라 저 통도디나 존도네 게 너바 요 말와 어디 빼게 심부셔가 삼상 삼로때 로 깨지긴 요렇게 요르데 통만 매번에 용대 되게 두두냐 되게 단다 만들어 정보지 상담하는 게 산제 거와 타고 지금 삼상 제도도 주요라 어디지만
This proof of former and future lives is something very essential to our practice of the Buddha's teaching. Why is that? It gets us out of this very short duration of the present lifetime. It's sort of like a very, limited perspective, where we just are only thinking of this lifetime. And with that kind of perspective, then it becomes very difficult to, we have to develop some kind of a conviction in the existence of say, starting with future lifetimes. Once we have the idea of future lifetimes, then we can think of ourselves as having lifetimes without limit. And so then within that kind of time period, then it becomes possible for us to focus on the importance of the next lifetime and how we need to be reborn as a human or a deity, and then we can make effort to the practices of a person at the initial level of practice, where you're avoiding the 10 non-virtuous deeds, cultivating the 10 virtuous deeds, and then beyond that we can see the possibility of once we cultivate an understanding of selflessness, then we understand that it's possible for us to be, liberated from samsara, and then in the long run, it's possible for us to become Buddhas. We can attain Buddhahood. So if we just are stuck in a view that there's only this one lifetime, then it becomes very difficult. We can sort of it's okay. We can kind of give lip service to the existence of future lifetimes and make some kind of effort to practice, but it won't be like if we have a firm conviction in the existence of future lifetimes. Not only, and then once we have this idea of future lifetimes, then we understand that there have to have been limitless previous lives, and by having that kind of perspective, then we can understand that all living beings are, for instance, our parents in this lifetime have been very helpful to us, but they've been helpful to us like that in previous lifetimes, endlessly, what do you say, countlessly before, and so then this opens us up to being, wanting to repay their all beings' kindness and the what do you say, warm-hearted qualities that come out of that. So this proof of former and future lifetimes is a very important step for us.
Yeah. 당연히 대쇼가 숨소든 데라. 어딜이야 류니 바시 레지 미 하잔 태시르식도. 삼조와 년den통아 간들에 시슈교 강매바 강기친 삼조 매식도. 그래서 류니 바시 레지 메세. 셈데스 류지 코널 때니 지금 말해서라. 숨소든 데라인데. 링고出身的那라. 류니 바시 레지 미 하잔 태시르. 삼조와 년den통아 간들에 시슈교 강매 강기친 삼조 매시. 라소메. 야. 어디도 갈 수가 있어요. 눈이 마실래야지 매시. 타면바 시계체야. 규유샤 강함에바 강계장. 원소른데 심만라. 심만 삼조와 매바 밑에데 대체 랑게. 런데 규창와 강하시. 나르데 다들로 규에서 말이 그런 마음도 살아. 다 전달되라. 눈이 마실래야지 매시. 다 셈다 붙이길 잘아. 셈디 루 코나를 때는 깨봐 말해서라. 셈디 루 코나를 때는 깨봐야네. 그 망보 연구에서 하장 타셔서 거라. 디질랍들. 디도 전마도 아니 야보면서 말해.
There's to say that so to understand what the essential message of this particular verse is, to say that the mind just comes from the body, then has a lot of, what do you say, unwanted consequences to it.
근데 기억이어라. 셰바데 카도다 입요 말에 두두 두바 말아. 어디도 코란도 튼변이래게 주시고 그랬지. 셈가마실 때는 셈치마치마 기억으래서 거라. 집에 맡아고 셈다보데 셈가마실 때는 에네 소소 셈데 연구래서 거라. 어제 셈비 견디 셈가말 때는 좀 속에 견디 소가말 때는 좀 거라. 어디 전도 통매 아주 많이 내라. 당부 셈디 셈가말 때는 기기 요나서 거라. 아니 셈디 셈가메 치마기 요거 전에 치갈하면 들려서 거라. 치갈하면 셈디야 셈가마드 셈치마기 그래서 거라. 나메 셈디 경가메 셈디 침탄데 셈디 계속 와서 거라. 근데 윤도 셈비 요제 치갈하면 들려 셈디 셈치마 참조 그래서 거라. 셈조르고 말해서 투신도 샤그래서 거라. 이제도 하산태지 삼조를 년den통아 강들어서도 삼조로 와서 겨왕함에 시바데 센데셈리아 투신도 tuk도 와서 거라. 균체금에 놓아서 거라. 어디 내가 예반나 신감에 셈데 센데셈리아 삼조니 균마 셰브제고 삼조에 니거든 덴베 규강 통화 대해서거라 강요바 대해서거라 참 좋은 년된 통화 강들라 지시 외교세 남의 셈들이야 셈비셈 균트는 로야가 네버 컨디치 여베나티 아니 치갈라메 셈들이야 차장 요어 봐서거라 근데 치갈라메 셈들 존도 국마데 참 투자만도 또 그래서거라 그래서 경남의 셈들 천디 셈들 투자도 또고도 딜레 교 컨디치 요나티 참 마찬가지로 봐도 단데 치갈라메 셈들라 상대요 그래서거라 처음에는 아무들은 디요래 단데 치갈라메 디요 말세시 땡기요 거라 어디요 말에스티 손자 경남의 셈들 단다디나 천디 셈리야 뭐 비마셔제 참존 요하나시 치마 치갈라메 셈들 그 투투투투로라 치갈라메 셈디야 아니 겨와 치말이야 참자제 비마셔제 노래에서거라 남의 셈들 딜렌도 와까지 균네바 가르한테 마소한다고 치말라 요래서거라 참조어 년된 동안 강들라 지시 외교를 강매바 강게 친내 참조를 매시 겨와 치마디 치갈라메 셈들 참조네 투이젠도 그래서거라 This one? Oh, yeah, last one.
So the argument in this verse is based on that mind is different from, well, form is a literal, you can think of it as matter perhaps is okay, but a literal translation would be more like form. Mind doesn't have color, it doesn't have form. It has a different kind of, well, the word here is homogene, means that it has a different preceding moment of a similar type. When we talk about form, then the preceding moment of a similar type is form, and then with mind, then it has to be coming from mind. So then this preceding moment is talking about a succession of moments of mind, or a succession of moments of body, and so then when we take a look at how it is how our mind is at the final moment of our life, at the moment of death, then that mind has to continue into the future, and this is based on, well, where did this mind come? Where did this? What did he say? I think he uses the idea of a series, or it's just a series of homogenes from one moment to the next, and or a sequence, we could use that. So then, when our life, what do you say? When we were born or conceived, maybe is a better way. Then at that time, the mind of that moment had to have come from a previous, homogene or a preceding moment of similar type. So then the same will happen at the end of our life, and so that's why it says here. Well, if we read the verse, maybe, and I'll just read it as it is translated here, and then the commentary. It follows from the materialist thesis that all elements have the nature of being seeds of life. Where is there a part of the earth that could not become at some time the source of heat and moisture, birth, etc.? Nowhere. So let's see. Oh no, but 36. I think we're really in. If we look at 36 here, because of the extreme consequence consequence, later connection will not fail through some causal lack. We have seen that the earlier homogene has the ability to connect with later homogenes. So homogene just means they're of similar type, right? It's not the same type, but a similar type. So here, if we read the commentary, it is unacceptable to assert that later, at the time of the ordinary being's death, their sense faculties, etc., do not make a connection with subsequent homogenes because of some reason, such as the lack of some part of the cause, because at that time the homogeneous causes are complete. And in the past we have seen, and this is from the verse, and in the past we have seen that previous homogene has the ability to connect with a subsequent homogene, and that it is unacceptable that there exists any other additional cause.
Biswai.
Drisa.
Tandi log marwachine.
Log
sunde cheswa. Kicheto.
Dordu.
Ta tanda chu dushana sigdwa. Tameba kemata rigba chuchen sigdwa. Kewangama tugyora. Chidang mi ame kokbal pa nizam chamata bot sigora. Ame kokba nalia pa tambule mata we shibati sigora. Tameba kemata rigba chuchen. Rigba ngama ngondo sonde ko nyelen di rigba ngama chingondo yo kubre sigora. Ni rigba imbe sigora. Rigba imbe that is labda.
So in summary, the mind of a just born ordinary being follows on previous homogenes because it is a mind.
Da te chike yilu tokbachu ta chemanti kewangama de trup chana segora ni chike rigba de chuchen sora chikalam rigba chora chike rigba chuchen se chikame yilu tokbachu chen segdo ani rigba chema cham jode chajen gi rigba imbe rigba chema cham tudin rude ese gares de chakbadan chebe kansa ge sheba de ese wara sheba.
So here, that's for the previous, the previous life. Now, that's the, what are we calling it? Syllogism for the previous lifetime. Now the syllogism for the future lifetime is the death time mind of that ordinary being. And here we're talking about ordinary being connects with a subsequent mind because it is an attached mind. Here, an ordinary being is somebody who has attachment.
No, yeah. Tande chelia. Joan ko sokcha so min jote sigdwa. Teta de le kaje kar sigorasina. Shebate lum bashil tani kigre sigora. Semde Joan shi sokbe lum bashil tani kigre slaura. Oh, te lum bashil tani kewayena. Ani Joan changmo tamjede luji Joan changmo tamjede shebate sokcha re do re sigora. Oh, te kar sigorasina. Mate churabachi no chechina chuyabacha chudinalia chutangma ina bukigra bu bu kashe naburabtinde kashe seburabtinde kigra oh the Dharma de kigre sewara oh tikkedu jane chu chashe chik bunde duguyena ani chu chashe kangan juan samade bure rogurwa sewara Kutimado Kugumarwas, Chudimado Gugo Marwas, Semneco Marwa, and it chews Chasher Chibilia, Shartilla, Buchi Chasona, and it young John Summer Soxas and Joa Tasura. And you look Joan, Yeshe Yamdo, Joan Colan, Gigus and Chuyos, and Timado Guyomar, Ganga Chibuki Asura. This one, the Joan Soxas and Minjute Tola Sogwa. One would not look at never Mevangashi, Soja from Minjurose, Takusulanjagra, Pakatara, the Sheba Kugmanakana, Chundevcina, Buchi Gesona, Chumado Shanke Komaro Ashera Q. Kanga, John Sama Social Yurgo Ashera, Matilia de Gomares, Toda Tende, Tezutanti Social Yurgumares Lare, Tola Soba Yurgumares. Juango Social Mendu Tola Soba, one would not look Gebe, Niba Meban Gashi, Social Menduros. Juan Kasha Social Simjam Burigre. Kasha Rigmares Gora, Tola Soba to Rigmares, Kombuji and Niva Mares and Nasagora. Teach you Lamna?
No. So now we're going on to the opponent saying all the elements are not living beings because those that are unable to generate sense faculties in mind and stone, etc., are not living beings. So here, the argument is that if you have like a bowl of water from a pond, we're not talking from the tap, that if all the elements there were to, well, then you have some living, some kind of living beings are produced in that bowl of pond water. And now if it was a case that all the elements produced insects, then, or these living beings, then there wouldn't be anything else except what do you say, insects in there, and so it would just be full of insects, and so then what I'm calling them insects, but they're not really insects. What, living beings? Sorry, and so then so that's the basic argument that all the elements then have to be, you can't have some elements that are giving and producing living beings, and some elements not producing living beings, like the non-Buddhist. Well, this is the materialists are saying. So then, so then, if all of them are producing, so if it's full of living beings, then what do we say? Then some of the elements couldn't be producing earth, the stone and so forth. So it's like anyway, that's how the argument is going here. That I think we've already read this verse anyway. Yeah.
This one?
No, this one.
That some just subjected it.
Some to subject.
That by Kakachigara.
Yeah.
Come to treasure loss of us is out there. Give a menu, Sasso chat and Gaya mess. Teach it Tamja Sabun Tasagua. That's one. Some subject, Sholoka. Subject Dosada.
No, they drift on.
This one. Don't come to treasure loss of us. John Tamja Soja Sabun Gitani and Talsera. Teacher Tamja Sabun Ta said in a leg doa. John Tamja Sabun Gitani and John Tamja Soja Sabun Gitani Redo, de Sera. Teacher Tamja Sabun Ta said, Guys, count the treasure loss of what go and Miguel Sasso chat and Gayames. Count the Sachu Melo Trailer so but that's also, and the Soja may give a Soja Gil Kansasura. Bula soba karina. Ewa kiwa mengiwa saso juwe chaden gaya mebe eche sora. Juwa tamje sokja ki tangni chen rendu, sokja kiwa tangni chen rendu re sere. Juwa le sokja kiwa miniba kanya yuwa ma re se gora. This one.
Yeah. So here, on verse 38 then, therefore, just as one element transforms, so must they all transform. Because if sense faculties originate independently, there is no specification of the sources of life.
What do you consider it?
Yeah. Did because the Gakwa de
Daddy?
because the Dopachi Yor one day.
Joan gon soja sun minjur de chara ko sulab de ora. Joan samje soja sun jurgo mare dollar sokba loke be neba meba to soja sun jurgo mare sulab so.
Oh, they.
No tele pa ka kwa chara. Tene de Joan tamje sabun ge tangi chando soja ki sabun tangi chere se re ku gres. Tang do treshe la soba kyo kyo han minjur sa so Joan chayo mare se ra.
I think the verse, the way they count the verses is slightly different here. That's maybe adding to the confusion here in the translator. So let's see. I think we have this one objection still that one opponent is saying, and then so it follows that all the elements have the nature of being seeds of living beings, because where is there a part of the earth and other elements that could not become at some time the source of heat and moisture born beings, etc.? Nowhere.
This one.
Yeah.
That's some so good there. That's some just those chen kasere.
So we're just sort of moving ahead on the 38th one here is, therefore it follows, just as one element transforms into a living being, so must they all transform into living beings, because the sense faculties, etc., originate merely from the elements independently of their homogenes. So it follows that this reason pervades, because if sense faculties originate thus, there is no specification of the causes and conditions for arising or non-arising of living beings. Now the 39th.
So good in that. Demand danshan kasar kalikula. Teacher won't so rari last de lapsar donya. Teacher won't so rari la toba meber joina segdwa. Teacher won't bota similar so wasura, won't bota da ujong that was status mogochan kamato. Teacher similar so batadasura. Same days in the digra. Rari last rangi ringdangama. Sem ngamal tene sora rang ngama sem ngamal tene ke ko re te to me go ba ki yo na sora rang la te ba me bar jung ina se do rang ngamal te ba ma do bar jung yo ba ina sora ane chidar chi ni yong jur se ta so na she re chidar lang ne je chi na chu cha chi bu jur so na 아니 추차셔 강가데 burgyo고 그래서 거라. 그래서 그 교대를 주마도 개고 마서 하서 거라. 샘네 거 말아. 아니 차지 그 burgyo에 차지 부문교에 요말 강가 문도고 그래서 거라. 대체로 원소 라리라 때바 매번 종이나서 종이 요나서 거라. 아니 지달지니 용교신 지달 종에 차셔 직 용소 burg요 하신도 거라. 소자서 하신도 아니 그 교르세 정확 그 속자수 개발 매번 교르고 그래서 거라. 무슨
that picture dress on some good. Did a drunkard get down that's mindrawa.
나게 뭐 drunkard 말이야.
So it's not so important that way of counting the verses is slightly different here, but so if we just read on, then when the sense faculties are individually damaged, the mind is not damaged. Whereas we see that when this mind is transformed, those sense faculties also are transformed. Therefore, based on just a mind has as the basis of its existence some previous mind. The sense faculties are originated from mind, because mind is the cause of the sense faculties.
This one, huh?
This one.
Yeah, in Beshe. Down at Anderida. On a Kerala, one bullet, Junior, you look about Kevar and Deba, Maina Machine, that's who to what you are. Umikera Nangbasogia, any one bulla, Miwache, Miwage, Mishike, Tiletene, Suzimbe, Yiki number 7 killing to us. Miwara, Lucha, Miwa, Lucha, Lucha, Miwala, Mishike, Sultan, Yichi, or the Yabudo, Severesha, Momboresha, Kaburisha, Kamba Yabudo, some Yiki Shebekigra, or Tikan and Kill killing to us. No Lulet and the Kig to us, Yulute.
No.
Yiki Sheba the Lulet and the Kig to us. Can a mount and Mishiki, Michel Tenene, Yiki some Kog to us. On a Kerala, one bullet, Guinness, Miwan, no one wanted to Guinness or so that to the Shetos Zimbe. Yiki Sheba to us, until Lulit and give to us. On a Kerala, one bullet, Guinness, you look over Kevra and Deva, Mayanam, Shena, study up that 22. Titan law members, 24 left that day. Oh, dear.
So then we have a. This is reading the commentary, then the opponent is saying, well then, do you or do you not also assert that mind arises continually from the sense faculties? Here, so sense faculties, the opponent is thinking as the body, right? Because they're physical, that we're talking about some physical matter within the body, for instance, within the eye, that then once it, that based on that sense faculty, then we have this visual consciousness, and then visual consciousness means that the mind is apprehending some object, the color and shape of some object, and then that. Then, based on that, then we think, oh, it's beautiful, or it's ugly, or it's a blue, or or we have mental, mental consciousness, thought about the sensory object. So then the opponent is saying, well. Don't you accept the idea that mind is coming from the body? Yeah. So then, Drisa.
Tadi Langa Yorda, Tochuatirva, Telepa Langa Yore. Chir Pan dog was some Yase, Miwandegi, Mishike, Teletane, Suzimbe, Yilu talk by Tigre, Tesonda. Mewangi, you talk about your pen dog race gora. Chirpan dog was some the race gora. Call lead the manner, ye sheba make about and you cabarjama race gora. Doctor, you cabarjan, my in la asura. My race gora, I teach you of the list.
So, Gyaltsepte then responds to this. In general, something that is merely assistant to a result is not that result's special, indispensable cause. On the other hand, when mind is absent, it is the basis of the absence of the sense faculties. mind does not have the, let's say, last Drisa.
Yeah. Now you talk about things, Lord, no onbo, log but then this. Ye Shebashora, ye Sheba the Lona, and the Mewan door to Guresa. Mewan de Doji Kebarchene, ye Shebaton don to Kumares, Gabri Mewangi, ye Shebal Pant over your Yinaya, Mewan Mana, ye Sheba to Gresagora. Ye Sheba Mana, Mewan Maresagora. Ye Shebate, Mewangi Pa Chuchigresagora. That is Lamna.
So it's the when we're talking about the mental consciousness, then it's not the mind does not have the I and other sense faculties as its special basis, because when they are individually damaged, for example, by cataracts, then the mind is not damaged. Even though there's, that you can't use your sense faculties, that the mind is still able to, what do you say, substitute for that, the inability of the sense faculties to be functioning properly.
Luciora, Ludoga Sobo, Mewayora, Mewantaki Yiji Shebake, two cigarettes, 10 cabarsa, Resera, 10 cabarsa. Doctor say, Mewant Mana Kaduna Yiji Sheba came out in the Mares or Kapkala Copan to Resora. Ayina Mewan Mewant Mana Yiji Sheba came to attend the Mares, Doctor Cabarsa Mares or Doctor Cabarsa. Some Kapkala, two cigarettes, Doctor Cabarsa Mares or Teach love to do. Mewante Yiji Sheba, Cabri Panto Gresa. Mewante Yiji Sheba, Doctor Cabarsa teach love that.
So it's important that to understand that based on the sense faculties, then the mind is produced, but it's not the case that it's an indispensable cause for the mind. If it's damaged, for instance, then the mind still can perceive the object.
This way. Mewante, man, the Mili Chesona, me Thomasona, Mewan Dogbara, in a Yiji Shebakura, we get some little new Mara. I'm Joe Comasona, no, but Dogbara, Yomara. In a Yiji Shebakura, and does some Tanga Yiji Shebakura, or Chesanko, the Luan Mewanta Dona. Yiji Sheba la Cabri Tezo Panto, Tezo Mana, Yiji Sheba Mengesha Maresagora. Oh, Doctor Cabarjane, and a Yelesha. Me, Yeli or Yeli than Yede or what today, Uriam and a Miwa de Tajian, Mishinashi. Then a Miwa de Mishig Tajin while then Cabarjare Gora. Miwa de Yishi Tajin said to Mare. Oh, this is Gora. Yeah.
So for instance, we're talking about the eye. The eye sense faculty here is a I forget the translation for this. The dominant. I always remember the dominant cause. That from of a visual consciousness that it's. Because of the eye sense faculty, then we have a visual consciousness, but it's not like indispensable. When you have when it's damaged, like that you can't see properly, or the same goes for the ears when you can't hear at all. That they become deaf. But still, the mind is operating. It can think about other things and so forth. So you haven't eliminated our mental faculty once a sensory faculty is damaged or incapacitated or whatever.
Yeah.
So then, again, I was saying that the sense faculties aren't an indispensable cause of our mental faculty, or whatever we say, our mental consciousness. Yeah.
Suluka shipchu de rangani dugora. Suluka shipchu de. Kunju keba mecho de chikanchi de ndore de yusha. The one umbrella la no na sigdwa. Miwa nawa chewa liwa yora. O tezo de rel no bachone dogba yina ko yiji sheba de de sigora. Dog mare sora me bachag mare sigdwa. One umbrella la no na yilu la no yo mayese. Yiji shebatala no ba yongu mare de sigora. Some Miwan dona yiji sheban dog me doa. Miwan ge kapkalo yiji shebala panda tora. This one. Dinjum nane teda jan joata don toa yese. Yiji sheba de jursona, and then Miwala soba tesul and joaki grace agora. Raluge. Yiji sheba make bata chitin de and make madon at the regular. And it going on Magale, Killa soba tindeke Miwala Kyoshigora. Simbeleg, Yiji shebake. And under so the Sambad make bata chitin to Mamboyona. Some tune Amjo, Bachayata, make madon chat and they go. Yiji sheba de jursona. One boy look on but you par, Guratan to Grace agora. Mr. Bakibuman and Lucudura. Lucus and Hakura.
Ye. Go.
Cuba. Lu Yamdora. Yamdora, Jobuchagra, Mijaka Chagra, Kosabakibuman. Or this one. Ye dig Lulaya Pan Juratangramado. Ludig man, one but the manners, he the Sheba Mava Sangat and the Maresera. Those of Panda told the Lulit and Shebakigora, Yulukigora. Panda was some dress. Did Donna Condog at the Mares, 10 cabarets ago. 10 cabarets and Yelling and Del 10 cabarets ago. Mede Marmel Curity. Mamma the mamma get 10 cabarets. And Miwan the Michi 10 cabarets, Cotagian Sonza. 10 cabarets agora. Cuche was some 10 cabarets ago, Mare. This one. Yeah.
So the idea is that the mental faculties then act as the sense faculties act as a special cause of the mind, but it's not the case that they are producing the mind, because our mind still, can function without the sense faculties. And on the other hand, it's the case that the sense faculties are made to operate from the mind. The mind is is what allows the sense faculties to act as a basis for us having a mental, what do you say, a thought or a thought about young person again semdi.
One umbrella lano na yilu lano yo manchera. Ombo miwan lano sona Yiki Sheba New Maris, Mewant Meba Chasona, Dosona, Yiki Sheba Meba Maris, Gabri Panda told this as well. One of Redlana, Yulana, your Manisha. Did you none it a dozen Jordan Joy? You in Jorsona, New Luana Soba to the Kundo, there's Pan Jordan to this water. Somebody make you a soba, eat that in the teacher.
Oh, they
You on Pan Jordan to this water.
Because but it is a case that the mind itself has an effect upon the body, and that is you can see that when a person becomes very unhappy, then physically that it transforms the body physically.
This one. Oh, that did do was Yeshe.
So then it here it's. I think this is verse 40. Then where it's saying, therefore, based on just a mind has as the basis of existence some previous mind. The sense faculties are originated from mind because mind is the cause of the sense faculties. So now we're on to 41.
That's she the singing it in Yamdo. Ona yilu ten consciousness. Tana yilu te tensa the carres, yilu the condesneg or resigora. Yiji Sheba the Sigorda. This one. Ona yilu ten conscience, me want in the Mare, now Mare, Chama Mare, Lutu, yilu ten Chabarchan Chigi or Marwasha. The yilu ten mad back or resigora. Ona yilu ten consciousness to what is one. Tatar Nami Jitu be yilu, talk about Temi to Nebe, Kame Dese, or the Yilulia, Tandanami Kibe Yiki Shebatelia, Tem Ebe Kame your Mares or ten your race or that ten caressana, Tisilone by ten Lonelane Tembangase, Tisil Yilu Nebe ten the caressana, Longama Nila Tembe, Lonelane Tembe, Sembe Langashi. Wombunam de Cuimbe, teacher Lole Wombuy. The teacher Lone Payete, Lonelan, the temple Pale Jagdoa. The Yilu tem ever caress, Yilu never ten Yomar Bessiara, me want any Mares, now Mare, now Mare, that Yilu never, Yilu nature Yomar Bessera, your race or a ticaresna. Ona yilu ten consciousness. Tatar Nami Jitu be yilu tokban dese. Yiji Sheba de Sigora. Ten me to nebe kyon yo mare, ten meba mare Sigora. Taten Kares in Deshe Gorda. Return longama nila ten bese. Tichi lone paye ten lonelane ten bangasigdoa. Koranda Rictum be Yigi Sheba da Rictum be Yigi Sheba Namasigora. Rictum Longama Nila Tembe Munje Sembe Langashi. Kiongamala Sobatendege Yigi Sheba Lesa, Sembe Le Gashi Tisgora, Sembe Yigi Le in the Chara, Yigi Langashi. Tadarnami Yilun de Nebe 10 years or 10 bitches. Dibado Chilamna Candelo.
The opponent then comes up with, well, then, what is the special basis of mind? And so Geshe presents the response according to, he's it's Geshe in the sense, but in the sense of having the commentary, but it's also Dharma saying, in this next part of verse, what is it? We're on 41 now, I think. Then the commentary with the verse then says, there is no problem that such that this mind, which is included in the present karmic ripening, exists without a basis, because based on just a previous mind of the same type, that's that homogene, this mind of the present ripening has as the basis of its existence some previous intentional karmic act. It says here, it's the effect of some previous, what do you say, intentional karmic action. Dadrisa.
다 십주 신기대 연구하던데 디치 로레 원부 인스누가 디치 로레 원부 인스누가 어디 가서 그랬으나 근데 일루 똑발래 원부 좀 그래서 거라 디치 로스도 일루 똑발래 해서 근데 원부도 좀 그래서 거라 디치 로레 원부 인스 류라 세바다 제베 sem방아만 가시 미소 원부 남기 펜시 교인 버데시 디치 로레 원부 인 이제 펜시 여교나 지자든들 교반에서 일로 똑바 펜시 교왕하며 레기 시바대서 이 단대 일로 똑바 된 중에 교대에서 그러와. This one.
So then, so it's addressing this idea of what is the special basis of the mind. It's the sense faculties are originated from the mind because some previous intention that exists together with craving for a body is the projecting cause of the eye and other sense faculties.
This one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's talking about this previous intentional karmic act that then gives rise to the projecting cause of the eye and other sense faculties.
Then they pension you can check it and the way you should do. Chitameba chike one so chance. No matter than dollars in the chimney some shore. You are in the ring that and they pension you want you issues. Oh, then you won't bowl us over to young going to the Georgement Russia. Oh, dear, called Joangame, Yeshe less about than any pound of your resgora.
Also, later, the death time sense faculties of an ordinary being will connect with a subsequent homogene that is similar to the preceding homogene, because there exists a similar projecting cause of the same type. It's just repeating that idea of the previous intentional act being also, what do you say, mental intention.
This one. Yeah, don't do that just one. Shipju Shingi Legor, Dani Soloka Shipshingi de Legora.
Shipju
De Legora. The Canderesina, Tula Lambra, Yunge Pamba, the Tambu Lunge Pamba, Tako Tsuka Tangiora. Two number Tsuka Tangiora. Tambimba to Zora. Tambu Lunge Pambanes, Kirangi Lungda Gagatose. Su Gavatangiora, Lute Sem. You look 10 chicken manners agora. You take you look 10 chicken manner. You look 10 cabbage maris laura. Or take care of Londa gag dose, Sanja Londa gag dose, and Gavatangur. So Tambu Lunge Bangbane. No, not Tembe, Luda, Semi Penzu Chesu Chebas, and Inose. So do us, Luda, Semi Penzu Chickachilla, or what you respond to us. Pension chips, pension pant over there, pension cutie on the ass. And Keranga lived in a yearly 2 months ago, get and get to us. This one, on not 10 best with Temba Sanji from the next year. Lived and send me pension chips with Chebas, and you know, she, ye lula temper shebat and gallows. Temba Sanji from the day you do like 10 on the ass. Luta St. Penji chips, you know, state and girls who answer that. Did you love that?
No. So we're sort of moving ahead on this 41 and 42, and where the opponent is coming up. This is on page 232, if you have this translation, then, with another objection. And it says, well, then, this contradicts the teacher's explanation. The opponent here is the materialist, it's translated here, but it means charvaka, the certain non-Buddhist philosophical view in India. So then, this contradicts the teacher's explanation that mental cognition depends on the body. Body and mentality are mutually successive. This is the quote of Buddha's own words.
Oh yeah, that did that. That language Gava is a tool of song. That can make this and Gava your marriage for language. Can make this. They shebe pendo shiri yini lula temper shares it shadwa. Sholoka shini chikanchi cheni wamata yungdo, shivshim yungdo. They shebe pendo shiri yini lula temper shares. Lule yi lula temper shebe kusen yotes. Luta simpenju chips chebachan no sumbara. O titan did race wara. Lute number she yila pan dog wala kone sumbenji. Luandege no so tagin chani yilu kigi o marese. Luandege Lushitege pantoni Yeshe kigi ore telecom barese wara. Lute number she be yila pan dog wala kone sumba yindi. No getting cabarchan la comba minose. Luang tagin chene yuan kigre sumba mares wara. Yana luang menyele chene yuan kigre sumba mare. Luang tagin chene ilu kigre sumba mares wara. Tina ten cabarchan and you luang mana some yuan marea. You cheva some yores. Oh, this is.
So the explanation.
That was
the commentary is giving here is there is no problem with this particular quote or citation. There is a reason why Scripture explains that mental cognition is based on the body, because it is said that it means that a body cognition is assistant to the mental cognition. It does not mean that the body is mind's direct special basis. Here, that somehow it's indicating that you have the what is it? Sense faculty of touch, right? I mean, we call that the body sense faculty, and so then that sense faculty then gives rise to a what do you say? The body consciousness, and or what? I'm forgetting how we translate that, but our physical sense consciousness, and which is, the consciousness of touch, right? And so then that then gives rise to our mental consciousness that kind of thinks about the touch as pleasant or unpleasant or whatever, and so then so it's not meaning that the body is somehow the special basis for giving rise to the mind.
Geshe.
Geshe.
Oh yeah. Tandir dana. Ta lungdang gawa den disara. Lungdang gawa dang ra tanda. Oh yeah, ta rigbadang gawa se yang ko rigbadang gawa dang do. Te ka sa ke de ombu me ba lo mayin se Kete Keran, Lua Mana, Yilu Kandas Yungre, Yung Marwa Sigora. Lu Mana de Koti Yung Marwa. Sobo Mana, Yilu Doba Yung Mardo. Kete Ombo Meber, Yilu Juma Mayimbe, Lula Teno Shenase. Yiki Sheba Yilu Te, Luan Tengre Sigora. Kares Lua Mana, Yilu Yung Marwa Sigora, Chida. Take Cabayo Maris, Palanjum Telepale. Then I tell me about Tedan Pension Cunibe, Tiji Pension Guchan Yeshe. Today another, one boat in Yulula Tempertas. One boat the Yulula Ten Junguatas. They may bar say Yulu Mana, one boat Mijun Yeshe Sigora. Sumbatanba. Doba Tedana Cunula Tune, Pension Cuni to Duruata, Pension Pan Dog Besher. Dona Penzo Cunula Tune, Cujan in Barta, Dobesher. Oh, that is it. Penzo Chickachilla Pan Dog was some your essay. And Dog Chicky, two cabarets, Luhati, Yigi Shiban Dog Chicky, Cabarets, Maresa. That is it. This session.
Now we have another objection that the opponent is saying this contradicts reason. So if there is no occurrence of mind, the opponent is saying if there is no occurrence of mind without the sense faculties, it must be based on the body. The mind must be based on the body. It follows that those sense faculties also are based on the mind. Let's see, sorry. It follows that those sense faculties also are based on mind, because the mind, the sense faculties do not occur without mind. Also, if you assert thusly, it follows that they will be continually in mutual causation because of their being mutually assistant. If you assert that it follows that they have causes that are continually mutual because of that prior assertion. No.
This one?
No.
Oh, yeah, that Tunda Karshak Dosana. Tunda Dira. Oh, yeah, blue day. You ten do some Guaraco, Luan Desoge. Milan, now, Chaman, Luan Desoge, and a Yiki Shebage. Kuchi or Esgora. Then some to Lulu think to us to Gora. There's a look at Ludig Semlia, Pant over there, something like Kuchi Esgora, cup of Kuchi Esgora. In a uncle, Ludig, Nene Chane, Yiki Sheba Kigi or Mares. Tina think about it, and you met Luamana, you look at two Mara. No one man get to. Milan now, she want to do Tajan. Thabkhe Sura, making Thabkhe, Tema Thabkhe Sumgora. Mishi Kidu, making to suit the Sigara. Thabkhe to the Mewadal Sigara. Tema Thabkhe to Sula talk with some Shibatal Sigara. Can some Gora. Making Thabkhe, Tema Thabkhe. Mishi Kyola, can some Gora. Some Mishi de Mewang Thabkhe and Kigora. Mewan man Mishi Yamare. Mishi de Lula Tembere. Mewanda Lula Tembera, Dosi Kibarchare. Yeshe de Luang Takin Kibach and Kigmar, Yenich and Kigmar Sigora. This
So what is it what is the meaning here? Yeah, no. What is the meaning here that we have? It's really that it's pointing out that it's not the case that the body is somehow the substantial cause of the mind. In the Buddhist explanation of perception, then you have three causes. You have the object, and then you have the immediately preceding moment of mind, and then you have also this the sense faculty, which is called like the dominant, or I can't remember exactly the word that we use, sorry, cause of the mind. And these three conditions or three causes come together to form a perception, and then based on that you have, well, if it's a visual sense faculty, then you would have a visual consciousness, and that visual consciousness acts as the cause of the mental consciousness, thinking about the object that you're seeing and so forth. And so it's not the case that the opponent, the materialist, is trying to make it that somehow mind is the substantial cause. Sorry, that the body is somehow the substantial cause of the mind, but that's not the case from the Buddhist perspective.
Oh yeah, that's sort of
So we're stopping on the 44th verse. So we ended 43. We're on 44, and this particular way of counting, I don't know how, there seems to be some overlap here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay.